Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a little bit about our new theme editor that we just barely released yesterday. And in order to do that, we're going to go into Marketing, Colors and Styles, and you can see here that I have the Instaproofs Classic theme selected. A lot of you might have it selected by default as well, or if you have your own custom stuff through style sheets or through other customizations, you might not have anything selected. And if it's not selected, there's just going to be an option here that says Enable Themes. You click that button and your themes will be enabled. Now these sample themes are just that, they're just samples. The Instaproofs Classic is our base design that we've been using for the past few years on the storefronts, and you can start there. And that's where we're going to start in this tutorial as well. We're going to click Create and Customize Your Own Themes here to get into the editor. And if you haven't recently logged into the editor, it's going to ask you for a username and password. That username and password is going to be the same as your regular Instaproofs username and password, so you'll just put that in and it'll take you to the screen. On this side we can see the different sections within the editor, and the first one is the basics. This one has our fonts. If we click here, we can see the different fonts that are available to us. If you select them or flip through them, you can see it's making a change on our galleries. Now, in addition to selecting a specific font, we can also choose the weight, thin, light, regular, etc., as long as the font has the weights available with it. We can also change it between normal and italic. The title font isn't available here on this screen, but it is available within one of the galleries, so we'll take a look at that in just a second. And then you can change the roundness level, which is the corner of all the different elements within your account. Right now it's at slightly round, switch it between a few of the different ones, or we can leave it at square. Let's click into one of these galleries. And this is the splash screen. This right here tells us to customize the splash screen. Click on that and it'll open up the splash screen settings. So there's a few different settings available for us in this area here. The first one being our logo. We can turn that on or off. And if we have it turned on, we can move it top, bottom, or inside the form. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for this screen. And we can also turn on or off the gallery description, the gallery date, the gallery type, our login message, and we can change the alignment of this form. We can change the roundness level of the form as well. You can see that the edges will change. The opening animation, that just shows us how this form comes onto the page. We can slow it down if we want. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on this guy. Okay, for the background color, that's the background color here. It can be translucent, or it can be solid, or it can be none. So solid, we can't see anything behind it, but we can change this border on the side as well. And there are a few options there. Now, in addition to this standard layout for this page, there's also a layout number 2. And layout number 2 gives us a few different options than that first layout did. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that you can see your entire image, regardless of whether it's a portrait or landscape image. You can see the whole thing here. We can also turn off our logo. Let's go ahead and do that. And we can move a few of the things around. So let's go with the title position. You can move it to the top or bottom. Your image size you can change as well if we want to do that. You might also notice that there is no login form on this screen. It's missing the place that's asking for our email address and password. And the way that this screen works is actually once you click on it, then it'll ask us for the email address and password if that's required. Let's go ahead and enter this gallery. And in the gallery we can see all our categories like normal. Let's click into the first one, and this area here, these little gear icons, those will let you customize the different sections that are available. These are the headings. Takes us into the customize the headings section, and you can change the font just for the headings if that's something you want to do. In addition to changing the font in the heading, you can get rid of this background if you don't want it. You can make it solid, or you can make it spaced. You can also change the borders here, make it as thick or as thin as you want, and the lines as well. You can make them as thick or as thin as you want with those. You could even double them up if that's something that you wanted to do. For the background, we're going to go ahead and make it invisible, or set it to none, but give it a border. You can take off the double lines, and you can have it like that. Now, of course, we'll probably want a different font here, and you can choose any font that you'd like. And if we scroll down, we can get to the image grids. Now the image grids will give us quite a few options for modifying this section of our page here. And so let's just check out a couple of those options here. First is the layout. Now by default it says follow gallery settings, and the gallery settings are generally this masonry or vertical layout, and that's good for when you have a lot of vertical images. But if you want to set all of your images in a row so that there's nothing disjointed like this in different rows, you can do that by switching to the subway or horizontal layout. And here it puts them all into rows. In addition to changing the horizontal or vertical layout, we can also add a little bit of spacing. And you can see how that works. And we can change the image size. If you want large images, you have the option to do that. Or if you want smaller images, we could do that as well. Now let's switch this spacing back down. Oh, you can see you can even go all the way down to no spacing if you want your images to be right next to each other. We're going to go ahead and leave it at our medium spacing. I'm going to go ahead and select the balanced image size, and then here we can change the borders around these images. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at translucent gray, and you can see the corners on these images can be adjusted as well. I'll leave it at square. Now in addition to changing your image grid layouts, we can also change the colors. And here it's just as easy as just moving your sliders, getting the color changes. And let's make it screen. And we're going to select this option here, base color, click to set. When we click that button, it's going to make all these different palettes for us, which will make it a little easier as we try to set our other colors for our links and our buttons and things like that. So to start, let's open up a form. So we get this contact us form, and we can see that our buttons are red and black. Here's our primary button, it's red. Let's click it, and we can select one of the colors that it suggests for us here. You can see it changes automatically when we do that. We're going to leave it at that color there. And the other one was black. I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit lighter than this color here. So let's do it here, and oops, I think we must have changed the wrong one there. We changed the active state instead of the button. So let's see this normal button here. If you highlight or if you move your mouse over any of these sections, you can see that it lights up the settings that you're going to need to change up above. So for the normal button, it says I'm going to need to change this one here. So we will do that. You can see it also changed this area over here, which is highlighted at the same time. So maybe we'll just go ahead and leave it darker. Close that up. And let's see, is there anything else we can modify? How about the buttons? We can change the buttons and open that back up. We can change the font on the buttons. We can change the roundness level if we want to. And I think that's about all for our buttons. So I think we've gone over the basics, the colors, the buttons, the headings, the splash screen, and the image grids. So there you have it. Those are some of the different options that are available through the editor. And once you're done and you have everything the way that you want it to be, we'll click Save As. And we'll call it New Theme. Save that. Then we can close our editor. And since we haven't applied it to the galleries, we're going to go over here, refresh this page, and you can see now that our new theme is available right here at the end. I can select that, save our new theme, hit save that to our account, and that's now the default theme for all of our galleries. And now let's go ahead and refresh over here, and sure enough, we have this new theme set for our galleries. And that's it for this little demo, but if you have any questions, be sure to let us know. We're going to continue to add on to the options available within the editor, and if you have any suggestions for that as well, just shoot us an email to support@instaproofs.com and let us know your suggestions.